Alright, so you may notice this is a black screen. That is because I'm on Windows right now and I'm too lazy to set things up. So I am between Gen 2 installs right now. It's next time I install it, it'll be on KDE 6, but to try that out. But I fucked everything up, and so currently I'm on Windows. So we're gonna talk today about protest distros, and I really hate the term. So if I were to make the argument, it's get that word out of your head. Do not say the word protest when you are referring to a distribution, because there's this idea ever since Systemd came out that if you're not using Systemd, you must be protesting, as if Systemd has just always existed and has always been the default, even though that's just not the fucking case. So, like, what happens is, Void makes their excellent run it in its system, or Gen 2's got OpenRC support. That doesn't make them a fucking protest distribution. That just means you have the option, which is something that we should not be um, uh, voting against, I guess, for lack of a better term. Or sorry, we should not be against in Linux. The idea that choice is a protest is fucking retarded. Like, it is actually the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. No, I've heard worse. But especially this especially came up when I told Steve from Zero Linux about Artix. I was like, Arch is such a customizable distribution. You can choose Pipewire or Pulse. It's got Wayland or X11. You can choose what bootloader you have, but for some reason they decided to just have Systemd, and Artix went out to correct that. And the thing you said though, an argument was that Arctic says specifically that they hate Systemd, which, to be fair, there are a lot of reasons to hate Systemd. I've uh, I've talked about that ad nauseum. I don't think I need to keep going into that. Even though now I can use Systemd, I just don't feel like it. But what they did though is they repackaged a bunch of packages, and then also use the init systems that they had in there for, like, to whatever extent they could be used. Like, for example, S6 does have daemon supervision, and when you install a package, it automatically starts a service and adds it to that, which is good because S6 is way too fucking complicated for me. I don't understand it. Now, the only problem, of course, is it's built on Arch, so I can't use it because I don't know how to fix it if things go wrong. But uh, that is why he said Artix would be a protest distribution, is because they are quite literally protesting Systemd, and I still don't like that idea. I still don't like that we're calling it a protest distribution as if that was the default, because you're already starting to see this with Wayland, is that people are saying, "Oh, if you're not using Wayland, you must be protesting." It's like, no, I use XFCE, so I don't have the fucking choice, you know. But that's a that's just something I really always hated. I always hated this idea that you're protesting a distribution if you're not using what somebody else is using basically, because like, I can do fine with OpenRC. I can do fine with Runit, and I don't have many problems. But for some reason, that means I'm protesting Systemd, or I'm protesting Wayland by using a different desktop environment that doesn't support it. Like, this is just absolutely ridiculous. And I think we need to have a change of mindset, especially being in Linux. Is there is no such thing as a protest. You know what I mean? I mean, even if it literally is a protest, like they're saying we are not using Systemd because we don't like Systemd, you are giving somebody the option not to use Systemd, or you are giving somebody the option not to use Wayland. That should not be considered, because, like, the thing about calling it a protest is that it has negative connotations, because it means that you are taking a position rather than just using the shit that works for you, you know? And I really think that's an unhealthy mindset to have especially in open source software, where choice is kind of that. We always say that's at the fucking forefront of everything, and I hate this idea that this one thing we're not going to allow people to choose, or if they are, they must be, like, You know, they must have any strong opinions about something else. Like, no, I was using OpenRC because like Systemd just wasn't doing what I wanted it to, and it was giving me grief. You know, like sure that makes me a fucking protester. You know, like what the fuck. So, anyways, that's kind of my whole argument is just get that out of your head. Don't call it a protest distribution. Don't say you're protesting anything. You are using Linux as intended, and I really resent the fact that we are making this one thing or two things now. Just standard. Oh yeah, Pipewire is going to be the same thing. If you're using Pulse, you're protesting Pipewire, and Pipewire is fine. I use Pipewire. It's fine. You know, I have no problems against it or whatever. I have no qualms, but God forbid, you know, somebody wants to use Pulse for whatever reason, then whatever. All right, that should be about it. I don't want to repeat myself too much. Thanks.